So today I want to talk about a topic that kind of people go back and forth on, and honestly, I never really thought about and considered so heavily until I started following, people like Redbeard Tactical, uh, Count and Coop, Tactical. There's a bunch of just good, informative channels that they talk about things that me, being just a regular civilian, I have never, I've never experienced that or had to consider before. But that is whether or not a hammock setup belongs on a patrol, whether that's a 2 day patrol or whatever, or just you're planning on sleeping in a non-permissive environment, or what you might expect bad people or whatever. You're out there. Whether or not a hammock belongs in that. Well, personally, I actually really enjoy hammocks in the summer and spring months where it's really, really, really hot outside. There's all sorts of nasty mosquitoes, spiders, bugs, fire ants, crap like that. And I honestly really enjoy sleeping in a hammock. It's just really comfortable. And honestly, just maybe you're taking a break and you're gonna move at night or something like that. You can, just sit there in your hammock, hydrate, whatever, rest up, and yeah, it's just I think it's a great piece of gear. It's really lightweight. It compresses really small. This one is really like ultra light, so it compresses really small. But a lot of people have concerns about hammocks. They say, well, first off, it's a bigger footprint. Um, like it sticks out more. Right now, this is kind of a low hanging hammock setup, where like if I get in it, you know, it's like I'm only like a couple feet off the ground. I have this little poncho set up, so if it does lightly rain, which it won't because it's pretty hot. But yeah, a lot of people say this is too high off the ground, especially if you might expect like grazing fire or whatever. I don't know. Um, yeah, they just think it's too high profile, and a lot of dudes think that if you're in some type of like armed patrol or whatever, you should just keep everything just on the ground. And honestly, I was like, you know what? I never really thought about that because it's a great point. Now, one thing, and some people go back and forth on it. They're like, it's whatever. Because no matter what, if honestly, if you're on some type of patrol, from what I've heard and from just what sounds like basic common sense, is there's not going to be that much sleeping going on in a short patrol, whether that's a 1 day or a 2 day patrol. Most likely, me and a couple of other dudes or whatever, we're going to be taking, shifts, taking like watching, like security shifts. So whether that's at night or during the day, or whatever, we're probably not going to be sleeping that much. It's probably just going to be a couple of dudes having security, and then if you're not on security, you're just resting up, or you're drinking, or you're eating some food. I don't know, cleaning your rifle or whatever. So first off, you're probably not going to be sleeping that much anyway. So another concern would also be that we don't necessarily know when we're going to set up camp or how long we're going to be at camp. So maybe, we think that, hey, we're going to set up for a little bit, and the ability to quickly set up camp and then break down camp. This setup didn't take me, that long to set up. I just wrapped around these tree huggers, carabiner them. I ran a ridge line, threw a poncho on there, tied a couple points. It's not that long. However, just having a small setup to just throw on the ground, crawl in it, and then immediately just shove that back in a bag and go. That is something to be considered. Um, so yeah, besides that, how high profile it is, it does stick up more. Yeah, there are some concerns about whether or not I should use this in some type of whatever bad scenario you want to call it. However, I still think though that a hammock is a good piece of gear and can still be used on the ground, and is something that I'm going to kind of demonstrate. Alright, so now what I did was basically I just put down a really lightweight ground sheet. Honestly, a trash bag that you cut vertically would work. And I just threw the hammock straight on the ground. I shoved my butt pack all the way back here to be, not only a makeshift pillow, but also give it some frame, kind of like a frame. I just ran, some paracord, like a ridge line across, so I could lift up the bug net a little bit. Also, throw your poncho or tarp whatever over that, and then legit just crawl inside of it and then zip it up, and that way you're still protected from the bugs, and the ground sheet protects the hammock, and you're low on the ground. Throw in a sleep pad if you have one, but like I said, I'm probably not gonna be doing that when sleeping anyways. But this is my alternative to not using a hammock traditionally. And then this could also be used if, let's say I didn't have any trees, I could just literally throw this on the ground anywhere. Of course, I probably wouldn't have a ridgeline then, but yeah, I could figure something out. But yeah, this is how I would use a hammock if I was concerned about, I was really concerned about how big my footprint is. And obviously, I could make this way more camouflage, throw a poncho over it, maybe some camo netting, some natural vegetation, whatever. But yeah, consider, yeah, just think about it. List some other options if you can think of any. But yeah, hope you all stay safe, and God bless.